Alright, it's been a minute. Today is May the 4th and I'm finally allowed by the Italian government to come back to my studio, which not only means that I can use the studio again, but it also means that I can come here to this house, visit my family a little bit. I haven't seen them in like a month, so this is just really good news. Right now, I am not in the studio, as you can see, because I'm still rebuilding it. I'm bringing everything over from the apartment to the studio, getting some new lights, doing some upgrades, but we're back. We're back. Woo! Anyway, today we're talking about everybody's favorite topic. We're talking about money. Let's go.
EdTalenti on the beat.
What's up everyone, this is EdTalenti. How are you guys doing? So about a year and a half ago, Jesus, it's been a long time, I made a video which was like one of my first videos here on YouTube where I said that I made $1,000 in the first month selling beats online. I'm gonna put it right here. Check it out. It's really cringy because I hate that video. But nonetheless, that video was a really important milestone in my YouTube online producer career. So of course, since then, a lot of stuff has changed, not only my personal path, my personal career, but also in the environment, the community. The way that things work right now is very different than how it was 2 years ago. So during this time, I obviously tried a bunch of different things, different strategies, different ideas, different techniques, just different stuff. And I've learned a lot. I tried some things that didn't work so well. I tried some other things that worked really well and I'm still doing right now. I just tried a bunch of stuff and I'm here to share with you guys today 5 of the things that I wish I knew when I started back then. I wish I knew these things when I shot that video 2 years ago. I wish I could tell myself those things. So I'm here to share them with you and hopefully give you some interesting stuff to think about. Make sure to watch the video all the way through because at some point in the video I have a little present for you guys. And also just don't miss any of the tips because even the last ones are just as good as the first tips. Don't miss them. Alright, let's get into it. Tip number 1, don't focus on money, focus on visibility. This took me forever to learn, especially when you need money, when you're trying to get that first sale, when you're trying to just monetize what you've been doing so hard, what you've been investing your time into. I started realizing that really focusing on the money aspect brought me to make the wrong decisions. What I realized at some point is that the thing that's most important, the thing that really takes your career to the next level is not so much money, but it's visibility. Visibility is also going to bring money, but it's also going to bring a lot of other stuff, and it's just a better goal to have for yourself. This doesn't only apply to beat sales and stuff like that. It kind of applies to everything that you do. Just putting your work in front of as many people as possible means that there are more people that are going to be interested in what you're doing. It means that it's going to be a higher percentage of them because the numbers are bigger that are gonna turn eventually into customers of some kind or just fans. The moment I stopped thinking about money and I started thinking about visibility, how can I get my work in front of more people than I am right now? That was the moment, the point in time where I really started to change my career, money-wise and just in general. To some of you it might seem obvious, but think about it like this. If you have 100 people, out of 100 people, 1 person turns into a customer, 10 people turn into fans. If you turn that 100 people into 1,000 people, now you have the 1 customer turned into 10 customers, and you have the 10 fans to turn into 100 fans. And if you keep going with the numbers, you can see that the percentage stays the same, but the numbers get higher and higher. So yeah, long story short, don't focus so much on money, focus on creative ways to put your work in front of as many people as possible. All right, here we go with tip number 2, which is niche down and identify your customer avatar. What am I talking about? To keep it very simple, it basically means identify who you're talking to. Who is the person that you're talking to? Who is the person that's most likely to become a fan or a customer, whatever it is that you're looking for. For example, try to imagine 2 equally talented producers. One of them has a whole brand, his sound, everything that he does is centered around a more younger audience, a little pump type B. He's got lean on everything and a bunch of cartoons and stuff like that. That's gonna attract a certain type of person compared to somebody else that has a different type of brand with a more mature look and just maybe more old school beats or something like that. That's gonna attract a different type of person. So there's no better or worse when it comes to this, and my personal advice, something that I learned, is not to try and chase what's cool right now, but more try to really understand what you want to do and what you stand for. If you chase something that you don't really feel connected to, eventually you're gonna get sick of it, you're not gonna like it, and it's just gonna come off as fake and not really genuine. If you're doing something that's yours, something that comes from what you genuinely like, and it really reflects the person that you are, then it's gonna just come off better, it's gonna be more genuine, and you're gonna be able to do it for a long period of time without hating it, basically. So yeah, figure out what your niche is and just try to kind of focus on that one thing. All right, tip number 3, you guys always ask about this one. Free stuff is okay, but if you do it with purpose. Let me explain this a little bit. So when you talk about free stuff, people are just imagining like you put all this work into something, you put your love and you put your best art into it, and then you just give it away for free. You're like, bye, you never see it again, and that's the end of it. In 2020, that kind of thing doesn't really work anymore. It might have worked in the past because there wasn't as much competition and it was just like easier. You could actually carve out a niche of like out of free beats. But in this day and age, just giving stuff away for free with no like purpose at all, it's actually pretty counterproductive. Don't get me wrong, giving stuff away for free, it's a really good method to like build some like hype around your stuff and just kind of get your name out there, especially at first, but even like later on. When I say give stuff away but with purpose, I'm talking about like try to find things that are gonna help you in the long run. For example, the quickest thing that you can do is put out a free beat or a free pack of beats, and for every person that downloads them, they have to give you your email. So they just put their email on a little website, they get their free beats. Now you have emails, so they didn't pay you with money, but they still gave you something, which is an email address. With that email address, you can build an email list, you can do a bunch of things, give them discounts and just try to like talk to them. You can do a bunch of stuff with email addresses, but that's just a quick example of what you can do. Another quick example is a free for a follow. For example, this is built into beatstars if you have an account there. Let's say you have a beat and you're giving it out for free, but the person, in order to download it, they have to follow you on, let's say, Twitter or whatever. This way, the person that gets the beat doesn't have to spend any money, they don't have to commit to anything like too intense, but you are getting a new follower on a social media of your choice, which means that it's probably going to turn into a potential new fan in the future and eventually maybe a new customer in the future. So giving things away for free is totally fine. I actually encourage it, but always try to do it with like a plan, with like a purpose. And speaking of free stuff, I have a little present for you guys. The good friends of Cymatics decided to set up a gift card code for the Flute Gang. The code is, I'm reading it off of my phone, ED15. It was pretty simple, I couldn't remember that. But anyway, it's ED15. I'm going to put it on the screen. Just go at the link in the description. This code just gives you $15 off of anything on the Cymatics website. They have a lot of packs that are like around $15 or even a little bit under, so you can basically get them for free. So yeah, just enjoy your code. All right, let's get into tip number 4. This is a really like big topic, and I actually want to make a whole separate video just about this, but I'm just going to kind of give you a little preview here. There are a lot of ways to monetize what you do. As a creative in 2020, there are really no excuses why you shouldn't be making any money off of it. There are so many different opportunities for people that do anything creative. We're talking about music, but this could apply to anything that you can do, like painting or drawing, whatever it is. When we talk about making a living in like the producer community, people immediately think of 3 things. The first one is I'm gonna sell a ton of beats and make a bunch of money. The second one is I'm gonna become a huge YouTuber. And the third one is I'm gonna become a big producer in the industry and produce for Drake. And sure, those are totally fine as like long-term goals. If that's what you're chasing, that's fine. But in the short term, like right now, there's definitely something that you can monetize, like today. So think about all the little skills that you have. Think about anything. Like there's people that make a living like with mixing, making artworks, making sample packs. There are so many different things, and you can combine them all together and put together a little income that allows you to do this full time and then just get better, get bigger, and just improve on every aspect. So take a look at yourself, take a look at your skills or skills that you kind of have and you could get better at pretty quickly, and don't just focus all your effort on like, let's say, selling beats, because that's one thing out of like a million different things that you can do. And if everybody does the same thing, a small percentage of them are going to succeed and a smaller percentage of them are going to actually do well with it. Since day one, I heard people saying that it was impossible to make a living online because there's too many producers, the market is saturated, there's just too much stuff. It's not necessarily true. The market is saturated to me simply means that there are too many people doing the same thing. So it doesn't mean that there are too many people, period. It just means that they're all doing the same exact thing. If you do something different, you carve your own niche like we talked about it earlier, you can definitely make a living online in 2020 and moving forward, and probably for the rest of like the foreseeable future. This is a topic that I think about a lot, so I'm definitely gonna make a video, like a more in-depth video just on like ways to make money for beginner producers. So I hope you're excited for that. But for now, I just wanted to give you kind of a little like, just a little something. All right, and here we go with the last tip of the day, number 5, and it's invest in your brand and your personality just as much as you invest in your music. I kind of talked about this a little bit in the first video that I made a couple of years ago, but now I have a much clearer understanding of what that actually means. Doing this profession for real, now that I've been doing it for like a year and a half, it's all about having all these different skills. It's about being good at music. That's like requisite number 1. If you don't have that, then you gotta take care of that first. Once you have the music though, you gotta start thinking of everything that's around the music. The branding, the way you present that music, and the type of content that you make around that music. Let me give you a quick example just to make it a little more straightforward. So let's say I show up at your door and I have two packages in my hands, right? In this hand, I have this beautiful crafted package. It's just like beautiful to look at. They're both like sealed packages and you don't know what's inside, but the package is just amazing. In the other hand, I have this really ugly package. It's just horrible. It's just bad colors. It's all broken. It's just all like bleh. It's just bad. Now I'm in front of your door and I'm like, here, one of these is for you. You have to pick one off of my hand. Which one are you gonna pick? You're gonna probably pick the pretty package. You don't know what's inside either of them. So the pretty package might have a piece of poop inside of it for all you know, and the ugly package might have a nugget of gold. You don't know, but you're still gonna pick the pretty package. So in this little metaphor example, whatever, the inside of the package is your music and the package is how you present it. It's your content, it's your branding, it's your anything from your logo to your colors to the videos that you make, everything. Now, if you're all presentation, if your package is perfect, but inside you have that famous piece of poop, when they open the package, they're gonna see the poop and they're gonna hate you. They will never talk to you again because you gave him a piece of poop. But if you find a way to have a good package and a good content inside, the person will love you forever. In 2020, as producers, as creatives, we should all be in front of a camera. We should all be comfortable being in front of a camera. It doesn't really work anymore that you can just like hide behind the desk and make something. I mean, you can still do it, but I really don't suggest it. If you actually watch that video from 2 years ago, you're gonna see how my personality was like, it was just awful. That's why I hate that video, because I'm so like boring and my editing is terrible and everything is just like, I just sound like I'm sleepy. It's awful. At that time, I still didn't know how to talk to the camera. I wanted to do it, but I was shy, I was nervous. I didn't know how to put my words together like in the right way for the camera. I had to work a lot on my personality on camera and just like find a way to be me, to be truly me, even when I'm by myself in a room and I'm basically talking to myself. It's a weird concept, but it's becoming more and more normal as the years go by. And I really think it's like, aside from music, it's the most important skill that you should work on as just like a creative person online, especially if you're trying to turn it into a job, like something that you make a living with. You need to be good at presenting yourself, at talking to the camera, at not feeling stupid when you're in a room alone talking to a lens. Alright, those were all my tips for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you something to think about. And if you have any other questions, anything that you want to know, just type it in the comments and I'll try to respond pretty quickly. Like I said at the beginning, we're finally back at the studio, so we're going to start going hard on the videos again. I was just pretty uninspired in my apartment. It's just a different environment. This quarantine really got to my inspiration. So I'm happy to be out of it. I'm fully inspired, ready to make a bunch of stuff. Speaking of a bunch of stuff, I finally have a schedule for my live videos. It's gonna be Tuesday cookups, Friday beat critiques. It's gonna be the same thing for the future, for now. So today is Monday. Tomorrow I'm gonna do a cookup live, a couple hours, 2.5 hours, just in front of the camera, having fun with you guys, cooking up, watching some video, listening to some music, just having a good time. All right, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to subscribe button and notification bell. Yo, we're about to hit 40,000 subscribers. It's insane. A year ago, we were like at 2,000 right now. So, thank you. All right, I guess this is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching the video all the way through. I'll see you next time. And as always, be positive and positive things will happen.